Kamusta mga kapong Pinoy? Surprise! Excited na akong imbitahin kayong lahat na manood sa mga laban ko.
The shocking truth she revealed about Eala's explosive rise is something the WTA doesn't want you to know. What's up, tennis fanatics? Welcome back to Cortiva Tennis. Before we dive into the absolute chaos that just unfolded, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we're about to expose truths about the tennis world that mainstream sports media won't touch with a 10-foot pole. If you love drama, tennis, and watching history being made in real time, you're in the right place. Now let's get into the madness that has the entire tennis world buzzing. Aryna Sabalenka just went completely off script. The two-time Australian Open champion and dominant force in women's tennis, known for crushing opponents, stunned everyone with what happened next. Their practice dummies no more, as she delivered the most unexpected and brutally honest reaction to Eala's breakthrough into the WTA top 50 words that instantly sent shockwaves through locker rooms in Melbourne. This wasn't a polished, politically correct response. It was raw, unfiltered truth from one of the most dominant players on the planet, revealing something both fascinating and slightly terrifying about how the elite truly view the next generation climbing the rankings to challenge their throne. But before diving into Sabalenka's explosive comments, it's important to understand what Eala has just accomplished, because calling it impressive would be the understatement of the century. This is the kind of breakthrough that changes everything, the moment that separates dreamers from legends. Eala is now ranked number 49 in the world, officially inside the WTA top 50 and among the global elite, and her journey there is nothing short of miraculous. Just 12 months ago, in January 2025, she was ranked 138, grinding through the ITF circuit, the minor leagues of professional tennis, playing in front of a handful of spectators in obscure locations, battling for ranking points that barely moved the needle and earning little after expenses. She was a hopeful prospect, talented but largely overlooked, fighting in the trenches of a sport where 99% never break through. Now she's rubbing shoulders with Grand Slam champions, competing against Olympic medalists, facing the icon she once watched on television, and she's not just competing, she's winning, taking scalps, and making veterans sweat as she rockets from number 138 to number 49 in what feels like the blink of an eye. You understand how insane that climb is in a single calendar year. Most players spend their entire careers just trying to crack the top 100, yet Eala blew past that barrier like a speed bump and kept her foot on the accelerator straight into the top 50. The breakthrough that shattered every expectation came at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, a WTA 250 event that may not be one of the sport's mega tournaments but still features high-quality competition and valuable ranking points. Eala didn't just show up, she dominated her way to the semifinals, dismantling strong opponents and proving beyond any doubt that she belongs at this level. Her quarterfinal victory over Poland's Magda Linette was the moment casual fans truly took notice. Linette is no random qualifier. She has been ranked as high as number 19 in the world, reached the Australian Open semifinals just a few years ago, and spent over a decade on tour outsmarting elite players. Eala defeated her in straight sets, showcasing remarkable composure, shot-making, and tactical intelligence that separates good players from truly great ones. In the semifinals, Eala finally met her match against China's Wang Xiyu, whose heavy left-handed spin mirrored Eala's own style and created a fascinating tactical duel. Wang was simply sharper on the biggest points, bringing Eala's magical Auckland run to an end, but not before she had announced herself as a serious force on the WTA Tour. Everyone needs to understand that reaching the semifinals alone was already more than enough. Making the semis of a WTA tournament is a massive achievement by any standard. The eventual champion was top seed Alina Svitolina, a former world number 3 and one of the most consistent performers in women's tennis over the past decade. But let's be honest about what everyone at the tournament was really talking about. It wasn't Svitolina's title. It was the Filipino phenomenon who had just announced her arrival on the world stage in the most emphatic way possible. That semi-final run in Auckland nudged Eala one spot higher than her previous career best ranking of 50, a door she had been knocking on for weeks before finally kicking it clean off its hinges. And this rise hasn't been a fluke or the result of one lucky week. It's been steady, methodical, and built on sustainable results rather than a Cinderella story destined to disappear at midnight. Now this is where the story gets truly spicy and where Sabalenka enters the picture. During her pre-tournament press conference in Melbourne ahead of the Australian Open, Aryna Sabalenka was asked about Eala's breakthrough, and the reporter likely expected the usual cookie-cutter response: a polite nod to young talent, a few safe compliments, and the kind of empty platitudes we've all heard a million times. Instead of offering the usual vague, meaningless praise that sounds supportive while saying absolutely nothing, Sabalenka went nuclear with enthusiasm and honesty. "This girl is unbelievable," she said, her eyes widening with genuine excitement, recognition that was clearly not media-trained or forced, but real respect from someone who knows exactly how hard it is to reach the level Eala has achieved. Sabalenka revealed she had been watching Eala since her junior days at the Rafa Nadal Academy, noting that everyone knew she was special, but that breaking into the WTA top 50 this quickly is genuinely rare, as most players take years to get there. Coming from Sabalenka, this praise carries enormous weight. This isn't a retired player commenting from the sidelines, but a dominant force and the biggest threat to win the Australian Open for a third straight year, someone who has built her career on fearless, high-risk tennis and who never hands out compliments lightly. She respects power, fight, and the mentality of a winner, and recognizing that same killer instinct in Eala is a seal of approval money can't buy. And she wasn't done leaning into the microphone. Sabalenka delivered a quote that deserves to be printed in every junior tennis academy. "Eala doesn't play scared, she goes for her shots, competes like she belongs, and possesses the one quality that truly separates champions from the rest, an unshakable belief that can't be taught, only owned. That fearless mentality, going for your shots even when the pressure is crushing, when you're facing someone ranked 60 places higher, and when an entire stadium expects you to fold, is exactly what champions are made of, and Sabalenka sees it clearly in Eala." Then her tone shifted. The smile faded, her expression turned serious, and she added a comment that sent every journalist in the room scrambling for their notebooks. "The top 50 is great," she said, her voice dropping with intensity, "but it's also where things get truly hard. Everyone in the top 50 is good, everyone can play, and the gap between 50 and 20 isn't just about talent, it's about consistency, mental toughness, and handling expectations. That," she explained, "will be Eala's next real test." This wasn't shade or an attempt to downplay the achievement. It was a battle-hardened veteran delivering a necessary reality check. Sabalenka was speaking from experience, from surviving the professional tennis meat grinder, and warning a rising star that once you break into the top 50, the easy matches vanish entirely and every round becomes a fight. In the top 50, there are no soft draws, every player across the net is a killer, armed with real weapons, elite fitness, and full professional teams dissecting every weakness you have, which makes the margins between winning and losing almost microscopic. A few points can decide an entire match, one bad service game can cost you a set, and a single mental lapse can end your tournament. Stepping back, Eala's rise means far more than just a jump in the rankings, it carries real weight for the global tennis landscape. The Philippines is not a tennis powerhouse, it's a basketball nation through and through, where hoops line the streets of Manila and the sport dominates public attention, funding, and infrastructure, while tennis lags far behind what exists in traditional powerhouses like the United States, Spain, France, or Australia. That context makes Eala's breakthrough even more extraordinary, because she is accomplishing something no Filipino player has ever done at this level of the professional game. There is no established path, no legacy of stars to follow. She is carving her own route, hacking through uncharted territory, and creating a trail where none existed before. Carrying the pressure of being the first and holding an entire nation's hopes on her shoulders is immense, yet she continues to rise. She's handling it, and much of that can be traced back to her training at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, which has been the true X-factor in her development. This isn't a luxury tennis club with fancy amenities, it's to continue her meteoric rise. A Spartan, elite performance factory where future champions are built through world-class coaching, cutting-edge sports science, and a culture of relentless competition. Eala has lived there for years, fully immersed in excellence, learning from top coaches and training daily against Europe's best junior players. Even more remarkable are reports from within the academy that Rafael Nadal himself, the 22-time Grand Slam champion and one of the greatest athletes in tennis history, has personally stepped onto the practice courts to offer Eala tips and technical corrections. Imagine the confidence boost when a legend like Nadal takes time to refine your backhand or explain court positioning. You don't just gain a technical tweak, you internalize the belief that you matter and that you belong at the highest level. And after her breakthrough run at the ASB Classic in Auckland, Eala didn't return home for celebrations or media tours. She went straight to Melbourne to continue her intensive preparation. Her preparation continued straight into Melbourne ahead of the Australian Open, and this is where the story becomes even more remarkable, revealing just how seriously the tennis establishment is taking her. Eala was invited to compete in the Kuyong Classic, an exclusive exhibition event designed to give elite players high-quality match practice in the days leading up to the Australian Open. Only 4 WTA players were invited this year, and Eala was one of them, a fact she shared on social media with a mix of pride and disbelief. Let that sink in for a moment. They didn't invite a player ranked 80th in the world or a journeyman who's been on tour for a decade. They invited Eala while she was still fighting to crack the top 50. That invitation speaks volumes about how tournament directors, sponsors, broadcasters, and the wider tennis establishment view her potential. You don't get invited to Kuyong unless people want to watch you play, unless you can draw attention and fill seats. The other invitees underscored the event's prestige. Donna Vekic of Croatia, a Wimbledon semi-finalist in 2024 and Olympic silver medalist, Priscilla Hahn of Australia, giving the home crowd a local favorite to cheer for, and Daniela Hantuchova, the former world number 5 and a true legend of the sport, invited for her stature and experience. These are serious names, established stars and fan favorites, and Eala was right there alongside them, holding her own. What makes the story even more astonishing is that Eala had already beaten Donna Vekic at the ASB Classic just days before facing her again at Kuyong. Vekic is no pushover, a top-level player with 4 WTA singles titles, a career-high ranking of number 19, and wins over multiple Grand Slam champions. Eala didn't just win once by adrenaline or luck, she beat Vekic twice in a single week. Their first match in Auckland was a grueling 3-set battle, both players leaving everything on the court, and the second match at Kuyong was a straight sets dismantling. She won even more convincingly the second time, when Vekic had a specific game plan designed to neutralize her, fully motivated for revenge. That rapid improvement, that ability to adapt and outthink a top opponent between matches, is what separates future stars from those who plateau in the top 50. It's a clear sign of high tennis IQ and champion-level competitiveness. Sabalenka's candid reaction has only amplified the buzz, sparking intense conversations in Melbourne's locker rooms. During practice sessions, several WTA stars have reportedly been discussing Eala's meteoric rise, with reactions ranging from admiration to genuine concern because everyone now knows she's a force to be reckoned with. Other players see Eala in different ways. Some view her as a dangerous left-handed competitor who spins the ball like Nadal on clay and fights for every point as if her life depends on it, someone who will challenge their draws, steal prize money, and make early rounds far more difficult. But many see her as a boon for the sport itself. The Filipino community has rallied around Eala with almost terrifying passion. At the ASB Classic in Auckland, hundreds of fans traveled from New Zealand or came out from local communities, waving national flags, beating drums, and screaming after every point, turning the event into something resembling a Davis Cup tie or a World Cup soccer match. In Melbourne for the Australian Open, the Filipino presence is expected to be deafening. This energy is exactly what tennis needs, breaking the sport's sometimes quiet, polite, and sterile atmosphere and turning matches into must-see television. Even Donna Vekic commented in amazement at the sea of flags in the stands. Beyond the fans, the Filipino Tennis Federation is already planning to leverage Eala's success to develop the next generation, while corporate sponsors in the Philippines and across Asia line up to associate with her rising star. Government attention is growing, too, as her success offers the country international prestige. From a global perspective, Eala's emergence fills a gap in a sport long dominated by Europe, the US, and Australia, and inspires a new generation in Manila, Cebu, and Davao to pick up tennis rackets because they see someone like them competing at the highest level. She is becoming a national hero and role model, proving that geographic location and infrastructure do not determine your ceiling if you have talent, work ethic, and access to elite training. The pressure on her will only intensify with each ranking milestone, with fans, media, sponsors, and her federation raising expectations, analyzing every loss, and celebrating every victory. Yet Eala appears ready. She has the game, the team, the mentality, and the support system. She trains at one of the world's best academies, learns from coaches who have developed Grand Slam champions, competes fearlessly against the elite, and genuinely embraces the challenge rather than being overwhelmed by it. Tennis fans, the stage is set, and Eala is poised.
For me, I think experience helps a lot because I've been through so many different situations on court, and I know that this one little mistake not gonna